Hey everyone, my name is Callie. If you don't know me, I am an enrollment advisor and student success manager at First Step Coding, and I'm here today with Heather Dunmoyer, who is a First Step Coding alum. Hey Heather, thanks for being here with us. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing well today, and it's great to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, so I'm just going to ask you a couple questions about your experience with First Step Coding to give anyone that's watching just an idea of what it's like to be in the class and learn to code. So are you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so um, basically before deciding to join First Step Coding, you were, sorry, I'm gonna So as a graphic designer and UI designer at Gilmore Creatives in San Francisco, you decided to join First Step Coding.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how did you become interested in programming?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm fortunate enough to work at a small agency, and I have good working relationship with our developer at Gilmore Creatives, and so it's been really fun to get to know how he works and working with him on our projects. And as I would kind of learn more of what he was doing and ask questions about it, I started just to become really interested. And he actually suggested that if I was interested, then I should take a look at some classes. He never mentioned any specific class, but that's when I started doing my own research and I found First Step. And I just really liked the way the program was set up. And so that's kind of how it led me into wanting to take the class.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's kind of, I'm curious about your decision-making process when you were
Yeah,
looking into classes and found First Step Coding. Can you talk a little more about that and what made
sure.
you ultimately decide on our program?
Yeah, definitely. Choosing a class kind of came down to a few things, namely commitment. Because I have a full-time job, I wanted to be able to take a class that allowed for me to still work full-time, give me the flexibility, but also challenge me enough to get enough out of it. So First Step seemed like the perfect way to kind of get my feet wet, to get um, more information about what coding was like, to get more of like a baseline to see if this is something I wanted to pursue more kind of full-time. And then the other thing that I was looking for was cost, and First Step was more affordable. And the other thing too was just accessibility. It was great how it was located in the city. I could go there after work. Like, it was relatively convenient for me to get there too. So
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Awesome. So, what kind of support did you receive from your company when you told them you were interested in learning to code? I know
Yeah.
the
Well,
developer was really, pushing for it, but was there anything else?
yeah, well, I mean, we don't have a program at my work where you can take classes, like get paid for taking classes. I'm sure if I had asked, maybe my boss would have been willing to help out because he's super encouraging that way, but it was more of just a verbal affirmation. And also, they were really helpful in letting me leave early from work. So they definitely encouraged me to pursue it. Even though they didn't financially support me, which I was more than grateful for, just letting me have that flexibility and to do both at the same time. So, yeah.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome
Mhm.
having a supportive team.
Right.
So overall, are you happy with your decision to have gone through First Step Coding? And if so, just
Yeah.
what did you take away from the experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed the course. It went by really fast just because of how much we got out of it, which is a good thing in my opinion. We learned so much in a short amount of time, and though it was definitely challenging, I felt like I could manage the work as long as I was willing to, dedicate the time. And the way the class is set up too was really nice, having like these checkpoints, basically looking at the whole scope of the class and what you were expected to learn, which is a little overwhelming at first. But then as you go class by class, like day by day, it made it easier to like kind of take it in these little pieces. And so I felt like I got a lot out of it at the end. And I really value just having the way it was set up too, because it's nice to go back and look at the exercises, and just to be in that environment was really great. So
Cool. Yeah, so I know that you said, you initially did the class for just because your developer thought it would be a good idea and for you to learn some more and just
yeah.
be better at your job. But Was there ever a time where you were considering pursuing a career in software engineering, or
Yeah.
was that never the case?
Yeah, I mean, I went into the class more out of sheer curiosity. I wasn't intending like to switch careers or anything. I really was just curious to see how I would enjoy developing coding. And so taking the class, I really enjoyed it. I still feel like I'm in the right place as far as career. Like I don't know if I would want to spend 8 hours coding every day, but I really can appreciate it so much more. And I really enjoy now, even at my current job, like understanding what's going on. And so being able to make suggestions, being able to even send off some code is really great. And I think for me, it's only just opened the doors a little bit wider. Maybe not a full career shift, but just having that kind of technical skill baseline under my belt will be really helpful in the future. So
Cool. Yeah, can you talk a little more about how just your new coding ability has helped you in your current job? Um,
yeah.
just maybe what you've noticed, or if your developer has said or noticed anything.
Yeah, absolutely. The nice thing about kind of prior to the class was I had a decent understanding of like CSS and even HTML just because of that was what we were editing the most. But JavaScript was huge to learn more about because I feel like now that I have a better understanding of how it works, I can actually suggest certain um, either ideas or actual code depending on the project. And there have been some instances too recently where like a client needs something done and I'm able to look at it and try to figure it out even before a developer, not trying to take his work, but if he's ever busy, then I can assist him in ways that I couldn't have before. And also just understanding how it works has been helpful too, because before it was more designing based on look and of course like efficiency and the UX UI of the project. But now that I understand a little bit better about the development, I can make suggestions that are realistic and possible to do for a developer, which has been good too. Yeah.
Cool. That's really exciting. That's awesome to hear. Um, so do you feel that your, new foundation in coding has just in general made you more marketable for future career growth?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that wasn't overall my intention, but I to learn it was definitely it felt valuable because code is so important and definitely something that's not going away, especially in the Bay Area or any tech oriented place, which is becoming everywhere now. So I guess absolutely, like I wanted to be able to learn more. I wanted to be able to say I could understand at least even beyond the basics, just so that way if ever it came up in a job opportunity or wherever I am in life, like just to have that is great. And just hoping to continue to retain it and to continue to grow it too, because I know it'll change over time. So,
Yeah, for sure. Well, what has been your biggest challenge while you were learning to code?
yeah, I think the biggest challenge I faced was time, meaning setting aside that time because the class is set up in a way that I wouldn't say it's easy to learn, but like you guys make it really accessible and convenient to be able to like understand what's happening and to kind of grow your knowledge. But you do have to dedicate time in order to get to that next level. And so for me, having a full-time job, I definitely had to balance that out a little bit better. And so just being really intentional about setting aside time, using up some of my time on the weekend. It wasn't a ridiculous amount of time, but just enough to really make sure I'm honing that skill, understanding it completely, and then asking questions to the teachers too if I ever need that, just to take that time to do that because that was super helpful. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so final question. Just do you have any other advice for people that are considering learning to code?
Yeah. I mean, if you can do it, I really enjoyed it. I mean, maybe I won't take a full career shift tomorrow, but I'm really enjoying it, and I definitely it's opened my eyes a lot and made me more excited about the potential. And yeah, it was a great opportunity. I met wonderful people, and I'm really excited to see kind of where it goes from here. So
Yeah, that's great. Well, we're very excited for you too. We're really happy to hear that you got a lot out of the course and that you've been able to just enhance your current workflow, it sounds like. So that's awesome. But yeah, that's all the questions I have. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome.